questions you may have.
Mayor, on straw mayor, I mean, it's not a matter of if the council is going to put it on, because it means they're obligated by law to put this on the ballot. You would prefer June 2010. Why?
It's clearly what the voters wanted. When this initiative was brought forward, it was with the intent. It says 2009, so if there was a special election, it would be on in 2009. And if there wasn't a special election, the intent was for it to be on the next regular election, which is June 2010. I think that's hard to refute. Furthermore, there were companion pieces that were brought forward at the same time. The independent budget analyst, which was a ordinance which would automatically qualify if council does not elect to adopt it itself, which it can because it's not a charter revision, but it would all automatically qualify for June 2010. So both of those, there's a clear intent by those who signed that petition that we want to vote on it at the next regular election. And I think we all have a responsibility to honor the will of the voters. We have to respect that vote. And if somebody is not excited about the proposal or the charter, I think that's fine, but you cannot deny the process, the democratic process that people have engaged in. I think that's very significant.
One of the things that people keep referring to is the waiting for the Charter Review Committee to finish its work in case there is a quote-unquote rival proposal to go on. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think if there is a separate proposal by the committee that those two should appear on the same ballot?
So let me say three things. So number one, that doesn't change the first point, which again, 50,000 people signed and said we want to vote on something on June 2010. That was before, which is point number two, there was a Charter Commission. The Charter Commission was a response to this initiative that was brought forward by the citizens. So you have to A, honor their right to vote on something, and then secondly, the Charter Commission is doing their work. They're meeting, often. I've heard that there's not a lot of support, there's not a lot of turnout. It's supposed to be something where we want a lot of input, and from what I've been told, that most of the meetings have 4 or 10 people there, so not a whole lot of people are actually giving input on that particular commission. So that's point number two. And then thirdly, if they do come up with something that's good and makes good sense, then certainly that's at a point in time that I think people will have to determine, do we want to put it on June 2010? There's a lot of variables in there, but one of the variables should not be the citizens, SAG, the Sacramento's for Accountable Government, that basically followed the democratic process. They did their part, and they want to vote on something on June 2010. If the other one happens to make the ballot at the same time, great. We don't know what the commission is going to come up with. I don't even know at the end of the day if they'll even come up with something. They might think things are just perfect the way they are. That's not what I'm hearing in the community. So I don't know. I'm speculating. I'll certainly keep a close watch on it. And I'd like to say this here today. I voted for the commission. I think that anything that can produce perhaps better results for all of us, I'm willing to listen. But after they go through their whole process, I'm unsure still at this point what they will come up with.
Do you have any predictions for tonight?
Yeah, I feel very strongly. I think that tonight the voters will get a chance to vote on something that they worked very hard and felt very strongly about on June 2010, June 8th to be specific of 2010. I feel very strongly that will happen tonight.
How do the votes line up from your count?
Yeah, I can't tell you how the votes line up. Again, I'm not in there counting votes. Again, I'm trying not to do business as usual. I'm trying not to, get involved in issues that start to play different people off each other. I mean, to me, if I take a step back, how can people not have the opportunity to vote on something on June 2010 when they went through the whole process?
Well, I'm confused. How can you say you're confident this is going to pass tonight, and then also tell me that you haven't counted votes?
Because I believe that the council members will not, more than the majority of the council. Again, Tom, I can tell you, I don't know if it's going to pass, but I can still be confident.
Okay.
So I've been in a lot of basketball games. I've been very confident I was going to win. Some I won, and some didn't quite work out the way. So I can't guarantee an outcome. So I'm very confident. It seems hard. It seems common sense to me that if voters follow a process, a democratic process, and they have earned the right to vote on something, it's hard for me to believe that 5 council members, the majority or more, won't say, whether we like it or not, they should have an opportunity to vote on that. That's just my belief.
You say that Sacramento will be a better city if it passes. That means Could you also tell me why Sacramento would have been a better city for Mayor Fargo if she had had all the power that you would like to install with this charter change?
No,
Would it have been a better city for Mayor Fargo if she'd had the power?
I don't think that would be how I would frame the question, nor how I can answer it. So let me answer it the way I think that is a little more suitable for me in a response. Sacramento has evolved, and prior to Mayor Fargo, mayors were only half-time. They were part-time. So we've evolved to go from a part-time mayor to a full-time under Heather Fargo's watch. And we went from a full-time mayor to full-time pay. That's an evolution of something that started back in 1921. There's more evolution, and I think now as a city we're ready to evolve even further, that a mayor not only gets full-time pay and full-time duties, but they have full-time responsibilities. And when you look at our city, we are trying to be, and my vision for Sacramento is we want to be a world-class destination city. We are the capital of the 7th largest economy in the world, in California, the capital city. And quite frankly, I don't think we've been recognized to the degree that we should statewide, and I don't think we've been recognized as we should from a national perspective. And when I got elected, I said, look, I'm going to go to Washington, we're going to fight at the state, and we're going to fight for Sacramento to make sure we get our resources in a way that we have not done in the past. And locally and regionally, I have to be a local and regional leader, and that's being collaborative and bringing different jurisdictions together and talking about regional issues. So all three of those I think are extremely important. And when I say an evolution, the city of Sacramento currently, and again, I'm a big fan of Ray Carey, so let me be very clear on that, but the city of Sacramento currently has a city manager who in essence has all the authority that I believe should be transferred to the mayor, the elected official. The voters want to hold their elected officials accountable. You have an unelected city manager who brings forward the budget and can bring forth his team, and I think that's great when you're in a smaller town.